Bright and early this morning. With regard to this exact deal, in fact, Sajid caught up with the management of TCS. Here's an excerpt of that conversation.
The deep capabilities MHP has in digital advisory and transformation, S/4HANA and operations in the automobile segment, and now on also the client base MHP has in Europe. And now you combine it with the AI capability, the scale, the depth that TCS brings. Now these two put together, we are envisaging what we call a AI Center of Excellence for mobility transformation. So we will be able to provide services across the entire value chain of AI mobility in terms of product, engineering, manufacturing, and of course customer experience. We'll be able to transform it not only for Porsche as the customer zero, we'll be able to approach and provide more services to other automobile companies and manufacturing companies in Europe. So the opportunity to do more, opportunity to transform AI mobility using AI are the motivations for us.
Michael, ever since you took over, you've been concentrating on by focusing on core operations for Porsche, and this sale of the unit is part of that entire strategy that you have. How big is this unit from a revenue point of view? What kind of clients does this unit have?
So first of all, it's not only focusing on the core business. That's a very important part, but it's also that we believe that MHP with a new partner like TCS now has a much better potential for the future by using the depth and the breadth of TCS, and I think there will be a huge opportunity for MHP to grow, and for us as Porsche to get through TCS even better services and better performance by MHP. So I think that is also a very important part of that deal. We are talking about a revenue around 700 million euros per year. That is for around double-digit margin. That is for Porsche a good part of the business, but it's not as important. I was saying it's not core, it's important, but again, I think with a new partnership now with TCS, we can get much more out of MHP with this deal.
My understanding is that you have more clients at MHP and you're not the only client for them in that sense. So what percent of the 700 million euros is what Porsche accounts for?
I would say around 30%, something around that. Depends a little bit on the year. And but I think, as Kriti said, it's also very important to mention that MHP has many customers, mainly obviously in the automotive industry, but I think there's a lot of know-how and knowledge in MHP regarding our industry, and also therefore in the transformation of our industry, which is happening now.
Kriti, the partnership brings you a revenue potential of nearly 1.25 billion euros over the next 5 years. What is the kind of work that you're going to do for Porsche, if you can elaborate it from TCS point of view?
So, Sajid, again, I don't want you to focus on 1.25 billion. I would look at it more as a partnership commitment. But the potential is huge. Currently, MHP operates only in the IT/OT space for Porsche. For instance, TCS brings in capabilities in engineering. MHP doesn't do any engineering work. So now this opens up opportunities for us to put our engineering capabilities in front. MHP doesn't do much of offshoring work. So we'll be able to offshore the work and provide them the ability, one, being more competitive for them. The moment you are more competitive, it again expands the horizon for us in Porsche and increases the scope of what we can do. So I see it across all lines, like it could be in the IT space, it could be in the engineering space. I would also look at how we can bring in TCS capabilities in the area of GBS and supply chain transformation. So many other new areas also come into play.
You're getting 4,500 employees as well as part of this deal. And it's a consulting one. You'll be able to integrate that. How much time will it take for you to integrate with India?
We are not looking to do any hard integration. We want actually MHP to thrive. Our idea is to let MHP be a standalone entity and support it with scale from TCS, support it with offshore, support it with other capabilities at larger TCSs. So there will not be any, we are not planning to do any hard integration, merge it with TCS. Actually, we'll support them in grow on their own.
Operations in France, Germany, Netherlands.
So we will keep it as an independent entity and support it to grow.
Michael, give us a sense of some other clients that you briefly mentioned about automobile being the biggest clients for them, for MHP. But which are the other ones? Does the Volkswagen Group have exposure to MHP? Will that business also come as part of the deal to TCS?
No, so Volkswagen is also one customer. Please understand, I don't want to disclose any other customers. Obviously, Volkswagen I can mention, but this is not part of the deal. Okay, and the 1.25 billion you were mentioning is only the revenue part based on Porsche, nobody else. So the revenue potential for MHP in the future, I guess, is much higher than that, and it is already today if you talk about around 700 million a year.
How is the automobile industry doing at this point in time? Because last year has been a tough year for the entire European automobile, and it can be seen from the revenues as well. From 830 odd million euros, it has fallen to 742. Do you see a revival coming in for the automobile industry?
You're talking in general about
the European automobile OEMs, basically.
So I think obviously we are experiencing challenging times. It's driven by geopolitics. It's driven by more competition in the industry. And obviously we have also to do our homework. Specifically for Porsche, I'm very positive. Again, we have a lot to do. We just started our transformation. I see a good reaction in my organization to transform, to change, which is not always easy. But I think in the first year of 2026, we achieved already a lot. And again, this deal is part of this change, refocusing on core business. I think that is crucial for an automotive player in these challenging times, really to focus and develop excellency in the business.